Hello, my name is Adam Jensen, and this is David's Day Off. David's Day Off was a game that was created for the Indicate Hidden Heroes Game Jam, where myself and a few other singers from Bradley University created this game centered around David, our game design professor. Now, in this game, you play as David, to where you receive a notification from your capstone students that they have been captured by Evolution. Now, David must go and venture out to rescue his capstone students from Evolution before they are fed to the crunch machine and fall victim to crunch culture. Now, in this game, we wanted to pay homage to a lot of the lessons and stories that David had told us throughout the years. So, when it came to the gameplay mechanics, the first thing we wanted to do was pay homage to his time as someone who worked on video games. So, in that aspect, you'll see when you hover over certain objects, there will be a button to go and debug an object. This is more so to go and reference his time working on video games and to go and almost have the kind of feel as if like you're working with like a dev console in terms of that. We also wanted to go and incorporate a version of his favorite gameplay mechanic that he has mentioned multiple times, which is the God of War Axe Throwing mechanic. David has mentioned repeatedly about how the amount of detail that went into incorporating this mechanic just made it a lot of fun to play with. And so, taking this mechanic along with the debug mechanic, we wanted to go and make a game that was centered around these mechanics, but also around a quote that we based our entire design philosophy around. The quote being, 5 minutes of awesome will always best 30 of mediocrity. Our team went and based our entire game around this quote. We wanted fast, engaging, fun gameplay rather than something that was slow and just overall not fun. The reason that our game is compelling, especially why I and other members on my team believe our game is compelling, is because of our design philosophy and the fact that we went and focused primarily on introducing a lot of aspects of fun, very quick, very fast, just something that felt rewarding to go play, rather than something that would go and require you to go and sit for 30 minutes and end up being just an overall okay time instead of having something that's very fun and fast paced.
Fuck, I left my mech in Peoria.
I will also mention that besides in terms of us believing that our game is compelling towards players due to our design philosophy, I also believe, and other members of my team also believe, that this game is compelling due to the rejuvenation that it allowed for us in terms of our creativeness to go from working on our larger capstone project to working on this and then returning back to our capstone project. As I mentioned previously, every member of this team is in the same game design capstone, to where we are part of a much larger team working on a game project that was essentially a little over halfway through production at this point. And so when we saw the opportunity to go and work on another game as part of a game jam, a lot of us jumped at the opportunity to go and work on this. We saw this as an opportunity to go and think of whatever creativeness that we could, knowing that all of our skill level to go and essentially get the best possible game that we could within that time, but also allowing us to go and think of ideas that were outside of the box. Ideas alongside of, as you saw, the club mechanic being based on the axe from God of War, and the debug object, and even the different types of enemies. The mech level itself, all of these were aspects that we went and said as ideas that we didn't know if we would fully be able to go and get those in, but we all believed in ourselves to go and get this stuff in. And at the end of the day, we were able to go and get something in that still fit alongside our design philosophy of 5 minutes of fun over 30 minutes of mediocrity.
Time to show the full extent of my invisibility. Behold the power of my voice. Oh no, I'm fucking dying now. Oh no, I'm dead so fast. Fuck, I died doing that.
In terms of moving forward with this game, that is currently up in the air. As I mentioned before, a lot of us felt very much rejuvenated after working on this game in the middle of our capstone project, and we felt very much happy with the progress that we made within that time. It is at the point to where a lot of us are open to possibly working on this further past the graduation, but at this point we are very much happy with what we have achieved, and although there are many aspects in terms of improvements for this game, or possibly even turning this into a full game, it is likely that until that decision is reached or even made, we will be maintaining the current build that we have at the moment.